So Adam, you're making for a living commercial music.
How'd you find that out?
I've,
You read the interview in
yeah,
TRC?
that's true. But what's how it makes different with band stuff, or
It's a great question.
Yeah.
We work a lot faster when we record.
Yeah. Well, it does benefit. Yeah, we have a studio. You know.
When he writes commercial music, he has to do it very quickly, and so he's gotten in the habit of recording very quickly. So when we go in the studio, we don't sweat too much about the details and the small things, and we just put the ideas down quickly.
Also, we don't end up recording as a band usually. We end up recording just parts, and we're not even in the studio together.
No, but that song we did together, that was fun.
This song, yes.
I mean, there's also the emotional connection. You know, when I work, it's 9 to 5. You know, it's for a product or something. You know, some multinational corporation. It's the music they want, and I'm completely disconnected. And when we do our thing, it's the opposite. It's 100% investment, emotional.
It's 5 to 11 instead of 9 to 5.
You know, this stuff has more depth and meaning, and they're very different. But in terms of technical, you know, they do merge. You know, we've learned a lot. I learned a lot from doing that. So I try to bring that technical aspect to the old school.
does the
Speed it up a little.
Certainly the quality of our recordings has skyrocketed from our early indie days.
We used to just get in a room and record.
Yeah.
And that was it. Hit the tape, you know.
Yeah. Does the making commercial kind of music, does it give you an ideas which you bring to the band, or?
I don't think so. I think, you mean in terms of songwriting?
Yeah.
I think this band just has a sound, and I end up writing for the band now, because, you know, I tried a solo project and it was different. It was funkier and heavier and more rock, and this band has a sound. There's a sonic lineage, I think, at this point. So we end up playing towards that and try to branch out and go new places. But there's there's the keyboard, you know, there's the way Dan plays drums and the way we sing harmonies, and there's definitely some integrity there I don't want to mess with, you know.
Yeah. Can you give us?
It definitely makes sense. It's I always find that
it's like a fabric.
I never can translate my playing in the Mommyheads to another project. It always sounds much more generic in another project, so that I feel like I have this thing in the Mommyheads.
It's a sound.
Yeah, that I do that is just when I'm playing with somebody else, another band's project. I'm just a drummer.
Totally
but
different.
The Mommyheads, it's like we have such a long history together that I play off these guys in ways that I just don't normally do. But I don't know how that relates to TV commercials.
Yeah. Oh, it's the opposite.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you got to do everything for.
Well, no, he was saying what do you bring in because you're doing that?
I think the most thing is that using computers. When we broke up in the 90s, there were no cell phones, there were no laptops, you know. Yeah. And since then, I learned how to use a computer. So, yeah.
So
I think that's the biggest thing.
In one way,
I think there is maybe a little bit of pop that is in our music now that has to do with the commercials.
I guess
I think so.
I wouldn't even be aware of it, but sure.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a few examples? What are the new commercials where you have your music?
Oh,
give them the biggest ones.
The biggest one recently is Microsoft. The new, you know, the new phone where it's the squares.
Yeah.
We did it in every language. I wouldn't be surprised if we did it in Finnish and you know, but.
You sang it in all those languages?
No, we did a bunch of do da da da. You know, I was no
just
lyrics.
So you could get the SAG checks.
So, but the music was put on all these commercials. So that was the biggest.
Was that the big high those really
Time Warner Cable? Actually, the band was in a commercial for Time Warner Cable in the United States. Do you guys have cable, right, for TV?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of our cable networks is Time Warner Cable. And they wanted a band to play and practice with the computer cameras on the laptops. So we're all practicing I'll show it to you. It's on YouTube.
It was supposed to be real-time band practicing over the internet.
So
Like, we're not
someone's
the
in
same
Turku,
place.
someone's in Helsinki, and we're all jamming.
Yeah.
You know, that was the concept. And so we were actually in a commercial. So I guess that's another way that doing commercials has sucked us in, all of us.
Well, it's given us some money, actually, which enables us to do things.
Yeah.
And that's the money you've made from your work has enabled us to do things.
Right.
Yeah.
It's easier for us to do tours, that's for sure. We used
Yeah.
to be very poor. So.
And what are the jobs? What you are doing is this?
What do we do outside of music?
Yeah, and because you need some spare time to do tours.
We don't have a lot. We have 2 weeks a year.
Yeah.
I'm doing music full time now. I'm also starting to write. I have a couple books that I'm working on.
I teach, and I'm in school.
Jason works in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I just work in a small town municipality.
In the city government of a small town.
Yeah, town government actually.
Town government.